All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are at season 2, episode 2 of the Hard Cam podcast. And man, we're switching things up this week. I think we're going to have a lot of fun. We got some new segments we're going to unveil. We got some new flow to this podcast. And at the end, we're going to make a major announcement about a development that I think is going to be fun for everybody that follows us. But first, as always, we need to tell you what happened this past week in WWE. We had a huge title change. More on that later. We had some great faction warfare. And when I say great, I mean great. We had a great controversial finish on Raw, and the controversy happened really outside of the ring, more so than inside the ring. And of course, this week, like I said, new segments. We're going to brag. We're going to rant. We're going to give nods to the development that we are going to debut at the end of the episode. And we're going to talk, as we always do, on the hard cam. Here's what happened. On SmackDown, opening match, Trick Williams made his official debut against Rey Fenix. And of course, Trick would win. But he played the Trick card. We'll talk about it. Julia, with Kiana James, would win against Alexa Bliss. And if you can't believe that, we'll give you the facts. MFTs went up against the Wyatt Sicks. And we had some good moments there. Alba Fire came out with Chelsea Green to take on the debuting Jordynne Grace. And dear God, Jordynne Grace won that easily. It was crazy. I haven't seen a squash match like that in years. Finally, Carmelo Hayes would still honor the U.S. title open challenge. Shinsuke Nakamura would answer, and Carmelo Hayes would retain his title against Shinsuke. To end SmackDown, we had a 40-minute 3 stages of hell match between Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre. And at the end of 40 minutes, when the dust settled, we had a new WWE Champion, and his name is Drew McIntyre. Over on Raw, shorter show, but not. I mean, we didn't miss any action this week with what we got. Javon Evans would take on the Bravo Americano with the rest of the Americanos in tandem, and he'd come out the winner of that match, believe it or not. Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez, Asuka and Kairi Sane, and Lyra Valkyria with Bayley would all lock heads in a triple threat women's tag team #1 contenders match, and Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez would win that to become the #1 contenders. Dragon Lee and Penta would then take on members of the Vision, Austin Theory and Bronson Reed. And that is where the gray area comes in. We had a DQ finish courtesy of Braun Breaker. We'll talk to you about that in detail. And then finally, for the main event, AJ Styles would defend the honor of John Cena against Gunther, or so he thought. But man, it is very rare that AJ Styles gets outsmarted. That's exactly what happened, though. And Gunther won and walk away still spitting disrespect on nostalgia, as Dominic put it on last week's episode. So there you have it. That's the recap. Very exciting week. As always, I'm joined with my brothers, Dominic, Adrian, and the patriarch of the family, Jimmy Rhodes. Hello, fellows, and how are y'all this evening?
Doing pretty good. Good week in wrestling.
I need to take a minute to breathe after that. Whew. That was a lot. Adrian, what's going on, bro?
Nothing. I just wanted to say that because of what you said last week.
How you feeling?
Good.
I was worried about you, and specifically, we had a whole week of wrestling and no Joe Hendry, and I thought maybe you wouldn't make it. Can you believe that? No Joe Hendry. We love Joe Hendry, don't we, guys?
Yes, we do.
We do. All right, well, let's talk wrestling. I want to open up the show and talk about something that was really fun for me, and I hope it was fun for you. On SmackDown, we had a face-off between the MFTs and the Wyatt Sicks, and something happened in that match that I sat at the screen and just watched. I just enjoyed the moment. And that was when Big Eric Rowan looked face-to-face in the eyes of Tala Tonga. Finally, finally, Eric and Tala faced off in the ring, and I thought that segment was extremely special TV. Tell me what you guys are feeling after that match between the MFTs and the Wyatt Sicks.
Okay.
Tama Tonga is on his way to some big things.
You said Tama is?
Yes.
Yeah.
He got to pin Uncle Howdy clean in the middle of the ring. 1, 2, 3.
He did. Tama Tonga would pin Uncle Howdy. Insane.
So my opinion, he's on the way to some big things. I don't know what those big things are, but it definitely keeps the interest alive in the MFTs.
Well, and I was looking at some things too on the WWE website. Tama is the only one that is not shown in the Bullet Club face mask paint. Everybody else in the group, of course, Solo's not either, but the other Tongas are all wearing the Bullet Club face mask in their new profile pictures on WWE. Tama is not. Tama is still Tama. He's not Bullet Club Tama, and I thought that was pretty interesting, honestly.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
Jimmy, I figured you'd have something to say. Eric Rowan's one of your big high points each week, and he put on a clinic this past week.
Yeah, I want to talk about him a little bit later.
Okay.
But I'm so glad they finally got on with this, and I want to see a lot more of it. There's so many places this could go, and all of them are good. So just keep it up.
Dominic, I know Solo Sikoa has been kind of one of your unsung heroes for a while. I know when Solo finally broke free of the abuser gimmick and started being more of a clown, that was kind of refreshing for all of us, and you were all there for it. What I think we're seeing with this rival with this feud right now is that Solo is capable of taking nothing seriously and then catching you with your pants down, because something I never even anticipated them doing is what Solo did to win the match for his team. While it was happening, you got Eric and Tala stealing the show in the ring. Solo escapes over there and takes the Firefly lantern, which we know is very sentimental to the Wyatt Sicks. He picks it up and brags about it, and that shuts them down. I mean, for the first time, the whole team was like, whoa, wait a minute. You can't touch that. You can't have that. And it caught them all off guard, and that's what allowed Tama to get that pin. And I was like, okay, that happened. But furthermore, Solo and the MFTs left the arena with the Firefly lantern. And to me, that's a big deal.
Yeah, I think that Solo, since getting out of, like you said, getting out of the abuser leader gimmick that he was stuck in for a little while, has really shown that he's one of the most versatile, multi-character people in the company. Like, he can be a jokester, he can be serious, he can catch you off guard, and he can, like you said, take nothing serious but catch you with your pants down type guy. And so he's got the brains. But I mean, it's to me, none of this is surprising, but that's also because I watched Solo in NXT. So, and this is stuff that he used to do on a week-to-week basis when he was over there.
That's cool. And, just to really capitalize on the Fireflies, I mean, the Fireflies are so important to the Six. Jey Uso, his intro got huge, right before the debut of the Six. He was huge when he came out. They shut the lights off. They pulled the cell phones out. That was peak Jey Uso. And when the Wyatt Six debuted, they gave the Fireflies back to the Wyatt Six, despite Jey Uso being that high. So really, guys, like, to the casual viewer, the fact that the MFTs have this lantern is a big deal. And we really don't want WWE to squander this opportunity to make a big deal. If they can do it with CM Punk's bracelet, they ought to be able to do it with the Wyatt Six Firefly lantern.
Yes.
So, well, that's my point on that. It was an awesome match. If you're listening to the podcast and you want to go back and pick and choose what you watch, definitely pick that one up. See what you can watch on it. Really great. And I mean, we've been wanting this for a long time. MFTs versus the Six.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, guys, we are doing some new things. We're trying to kind of streamline the show a little bit. And one of the new segments that we are introducing this week, we're going to start things off on a positive note, unless the episodes are just really bad. But this week they were good. So one of the new segments of the week is going to be our brag of the week. And each one of the hosts on this show is going to get to brag. Pick anything they want to brag on that happened this past week in wrestling. And so I'm going to turn it over to the patriarch of the family, lay out the red carpet for the dad and let him brag. What you got, Dad? What what was awesome this week in WWE?
Well, I'm going to brag about is somebody I was up and down about. I haven't because I don't necessarily like them. I've been wanting for them to break up, and I keep thinking they will. Everybody thought Liv and Finn Balor were going to get together, and then everybody thought Liv was going to go against Roxanne, but now with Dominic hurt, it looks like Judgment Day is really coming together. At the end of next week, they could have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 belts. Everybody in the team have a belt except for the one that has 2. And Liv Morgan was the catalyst. She went out and challenged Rhea and Io, and then she went backstage and got Finn Balor off the video games and told him, if you're de facto leader with Dom gone and you're trying to make everything happen, why are you back here? Then he goes out and he challenges the world champion, so he's going to get to fight CM Punk. Rather than being in chaos anymore, it looks like they kind of got their stuff together. They're wrestling well, and I'm looking forward to some of these matches next week involving the Judgment Day.
Great take. Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better. I want to pinpoint a couple things though you brought up. Let's take it from the top down. What is the real likelihood that Finn Balor is able to dethrone CM Punk?
About 12%.
Now listen, I know we would all like to say it's not possible, but there's something about Finn Balor and the way he's doing this that you're kind of, at least me, I'm kind of thinking, Finn's going to do this.
I'm praying.
I'm giving it like 35 to 45% chance. Like I really am. I'm on that range of like a 60-40 split. Like I feel like someone somewhere on staff was like, you know what? Let's change it all. Like, and that's what they're doing, bro. And I'm all here for it, bro. I am all about the world titles completely, whole world title scene as a whole, damn near just completely changing right before Royal Rumble.
Like, yeah, I don't think CM Punk needs to carry the title between now and WrestleMania. I don't think he needs it.
No.
But if I had to look at the Raw roster and think, God, who really could shake up Raw by winning the title?
Finn Balor.
That was great. And then, I thought Finn, I had no idea. Like, I was actually caught off because, of course, like Dad said, Liv goes back there. She sparks the fire under Finn, or so she tries to. And Finn's playing video games. He's like, I don't give a crap. He acts like he doesn't care. They leave pissed off. And he's like, you just wait. I've got a plan. And then when CM Punk's out there giving a promo, and then you hear Finn's music. By the way, he didn't come out to the Judgment Day music either. He came out to Finn's music.
Yeah, he came out to his Prince music. We didn't have it turned up enough to hear it, but he did.
He did, and they said the Prince and the Punk are going to go at it. And I thought that was cool. Yeah. And he did. He came out. He was so cool. He was so collected. He didn't have to give a smart promo. He didn't have to say anything. He just said, okay, no, I'm going to do this. But and of course, he stayed in the driver's seat. He said, I'm not doing it tonight. I'm doing it at home. And the whole time I just felt like, God, Finn's commanding out there. Less is more.
Yeah, less is more, bro. Finn is good. Finn Balor was the first ever undisputed champion when they very first debuted that title. He was the first person to win that thing. Like he's good. He's really good. And Drew McIntyre, he got screwed over for years, and now look where he's at. It's just par for the course for me.
Yeah, and then Jimmy said a couple of things. He said, Liv Morgan and Roxanne are in position to win the women's tag team titles. That's true. They were number one contenders. And then Raquel is feuding with Stephanie Vauquer right now. Stephanie Vauquer is performing, but she is injured. She does have an ankle injury, so I don't know if maybe they will give it to Raquel too. But, I I'm with Jimmy. Even if we had 1 week where the Judgment Day were on top again, I would celebrate that. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
It'd be real fun to see. So,
Oh yeah.
really good take, Jimmy. Great brag. So I'm going to brag, and I'm going to do it in a very big way. I'm going to brag on the U.S. Title Open Challenge. I know we talk about this a lot, and I've looked back at past episodes, and every time this comes up, we say really good things. Even when Sami Zayn was putting on the U.S. Title Open Challenge, we had nice things to say about Sami Zayn, and that's rare. But I want to brag on whoever and whatever. If it was really John Cena, then great. Whoever thought to bring back the U.S. Title Open Challenge, that has been very well done. Yes. It's not two people focused on a feud, and nobody else is going to be able to get into that scene until the feud's over. Right now, and they've done this, anybody can win the U.S. title. It means something because every single match that has been had in the open title since it started has been a good, solid match, sometimes even the best match on the show. And so right now you have Carmelo Hayes as the champion. He had a pretty good match with Shinsuke. And the camaraderie with it too. Right now, most people that have been involved in those matches have shown respect. They've been really good competitors with one another. And then you had like Tommaso Ciampa, who didn't want to respect it. He just wanted to be a jerk, and he didn't get an opportunity. So I like where it's going. And I just, as part of this brag, I kind of wanted to ask you guys, who would y'all like to see challenge for the U.S. title next? Not necessarily who is in the pipeline, like, in talks and stuff like that. Like we know Johnny is, and a couple other people are trying to weasel their way in. But I mean, out of the roster, who would you like to see come in and challenge for it?
I'm gonna go. Okay. I'm gonna give it to. This is the one I need. I need it so bad. Okay, just before he kickstarts his actual and just goes on a freaking rocket ship mode. I need Trick Williams to open and answer. Okay, yeah, I said that backwards. Answer the open challenge so bad because of his and Carmelo's unresolved.
All right, Adrian says he needs it, like he needs Capri Sun after mowing the yard. He needs Trick Williams to challenge. Okay.
Yeah.
It's cool. I like it. Anybody else?
I'd like to see somebody like LA Knight or Jey Uso or Roman Reigns, one A-lister go for it.
That'd be fun. I'll tell you what I want. I want Obafemi to walk right into the show. I want him to walk right into the ring. I want him to walk right up to the belt, steal it, and I want him to continue the challenge and not lose for 6 straight months. I mean, I want him to just whoop every single person until you start getting those A-listers interested in trying to knock Obafemi off. I think if done right, the U.S. title could become as prestigious as the WWE title because people are having trouble overcoming Oba.
That's pretty cool.
And I think Oba can compete at the level that the U.S. title matches have been. I think he can do it week in and week out. I think he can do it and carry it. And then when he does lose, it'll just be like when Gunther lost the Intercontinental title. Gunther was ready for the main championship drama. Mm-hmm. And I mean, we would love Oba just to do main championship. We think he can do it. I know we do. But I think it'd be a good building block for him just to completely dominate it and just make it fun. That's my take on it.
Amazing. And you know who should dethrone him?
Huh?
You know who should dethrone him?
Who?
Gunther.
Gunther dethrone Oba.
Yes.
It's an opinion.
Anyways,
all right.
Time
for y'all to catch up. Dominic, what's your brag?
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. My brag goes to. It's gonna catch a couple of y'all off guard, but my brag goes to Road Dogg.
Road Dogg?
He's the new head of creative for SmackDown. He took over right at the beginning of 2026. And right before he took over, he came out on the WWE page and was like, y'all get ready for this new phase of SmackDown. And the man has delivered every week since he took over.
Dang. So we got literal DX running WWE.
Yeah.
Spooky.
Yeah,
That's
Road
awesome.
Dogg, Road Dogg is now the head of creative for SmackDown, and he is cooking, and I am loving it.
He's got a lot to cook with, though. I mean, he's got a 3-hour show.
I mean, I know, but that's the whole thing, though. Is this isn't the first time SmackDown was 3 hours? When SmackDown was 3 hours last year, it sucked. It was long.
Yeah,
it was drug out.
It dragged on. It dragged on.
So
You're
you
right.
gotta be a different breed of creative to make 3 hours as interesting as it has been.
Okay, that's cool. I missed that, but I love it. I love Road Dogg in general. Road Dogg is a great person and a great figure in WWE. So, okay.
I go with my brag this week as Braun Breaker.
Tell me why.
Dude, I got receipts, okay?
He got receipts.
Number one, did you not see the spear he did on freaking Dragon? I don't know if Dragon Lee's still alive, but someone needs to check up on him.
Yeah, I thought about calling Jimmy, and I saw that and said, "Are you okay? I know you just saw that on TV." Your boy Dragon, he clipped his wings.
Yeah, he's gone, bro. That was more brutal than Carlito's spear. That was
Braun showed up and said, "Dragons are supposed to be mythical. I'm sending you back where you came from." Hey, and on that note, they literally clocked his running speed when he hit Dragon. Do you know how fast he was going for real? 23 miles an hour.
My God.
Yeah, Dragon
That's
Lee's
like
gone.
Usain Bolt fast. And of course, I know he was running downhill because he ran down the ramp. But good God, that's like getting hit with a 4-wheeler.
Yeah, dude. Braun Breaker is an absolute another breed of specimen. Like he doesn't even make any sense.
All right, so we got the spear. What else? You had more for us.
Okay. He put hands on Adam Pearce.
Shock value equals 100. Yes, he did.
Yes.
Oh, bro.
Talk about the most big-eyed thing that's happened in wrestling in a while for me. When he put his hands on Adam Pearce and threw him into that turnbuckle and started screaming at him, my eyes were this damn big. I was like, what? Oh God! And then my eyes got even bigger when Paul Heyman's like, that was a big mistake. You put hands on him first. Oh, dude, that's storyline's gonna cook.
So while we're on that note, that's actually something I wanted to talk about, all of us together. Is okay. So let's play this out. Vision are having a match. Braun Breaker comes out, disrupts it. It's Dragon with the spear from hell. I mean, God, it was that crazy. I'll show it on the podcast when it debuts. But I don't even think Dragon got up. I think he laid out there for the rest of the show. I really don't think he did.
He's coming back as a zombie dragon, like on Game of Thrones. That's his only shot.
Might as well, brother. Shoot,
I don't know. It could be a few years.
Tape on his pentagon fix.
He don't even have bones. He don't even have bones left. He's gonna come back as a ghost dragon. Ain't nothing left of him. But he comes out. He does. He interrupts, and Adam Pearce at the beginning of the episode told Paul he has issues with what's taking place with Braun. Wants to talk to him when he gets there. It didn't happen. So Adam Pearce comes out. And he tries to get the Vision to stop wrecking havoc. Nobody's listening to him. So Adam Pearce grabs Braun's shoulder, whips him around, starts yelling at him. Braun then grabs Adam Pearce by the neck collar, throws him into the turnbuckle, and then starts yelling at him from on top of him. And in the moment, you see Paul Heyman and everybody freak out like, "Oh, bro, why'd you do that? Move back, get out of here. What are you doing?" And at the end backstage, they have time to get back. They have time to collect their composure. Adam Pearce comes out yelling, and Paul Heyman does what Paul Heyman does best. He twists it, and he's right. He said, yeah, Braun put his hands on you, but from my vantage point, you put your hands on him first. And Adam Pearce is a wrestler. He's on the roster as not only manager, but he is on the roster as a performer as well. And so, free game, right? You'd think that. I was having thoughts before that episode even aired. What if the Vision did an angle where they took Adam Pearce out and Paul Heyman was the interim GM?
Oh my God, we were literally talking about this.
We said
We were
that.
literally talking about this. What if they like kind of like slowly develop this? Not like too long, but slowly develop this into like an angle where the Vision takes out Adam Pearce, like you said. Paul Heyman takes over as interim GM, and then Adam Pearce makes this awesome, dope surprise appearance one day on Raw, coming back. But instead of like coming back just as like manager, he shows up while the Vision's out there talking smack and running Raw and just Rampage and stuff, and he has a whole team of people himself to take on Paul Heyman stuff. Like, dude, that would just be an absolute imagine that would just be peak. That would be peak storytelling at its finest, bro. Like,
Listen to this. This is how I thought like this would be a good point of view, and a little bit of it's far fetched, but like, yeah, this is what I was thinking. Okay, so with this, he put on his hands on him first, and now he's taking him out. I think they're gonna use Logan Paul's lawyers again, like they've done in the past. Brought out Logan Paul's lawyers. I think they're gonna get Adam Pearce fired instead of just like putting him away. I think they're gonna get him fired. Paul Heyman's gonna get that spot, and they're actually gonna run Raw for like a month probably. But they're gonna terrorize people. Like they're gonna the staff are gonna get disrespected, and like other superstars are gonna get rampaged. They're gonna mess up sets. They're gonna put their names on like the branding.
trash title opportunities and all.
It sets up honestly, this would be believable. It set up a great Roman Reigns return.
And oh my God,
because you're not going against the Vision at that point. Who can step in and shut up Paul Heyman?
Right.
You know,
dude, it would set up a really good Roman Reigns return to freaking help out Adam Pearce. Oh my God. And you know what would be so full circle about all that is in the pandemic era when Roman Reigns debuted his Tribal Chief gimmick, one of his first feuds was him versus Adam Pearce. And Adam Pearce and Roman Reigns literally had a match for a PLE in the pandemic era. And it was scheduled as Adam Pearce versus Roman Reigns. And Adam Pearce showed up and he was like, you're crazy if you think I'm actually about to fight you. But I got someone that will. And then I can't remember, but someone came out from behind Adam Pearce and started going at Roman Reigns. And like they had a whole like feud throughout the whole pandemic era, Paul Heyman versus Adam Pearce with Roman Reigns being the thing. And like, so that would be like a really cool full circle thing.
Yeah. I think it's going to be great. Well, good. I really like where this is going. The brag's awesome. What a great segment, right? There's a lot to brag about. So, unfortunately, every coin has an opposite side. And after we bragged, we do always have some rants. That's part of the hard cam culture here. And so now I want to open it up to things that we were displeased with on Raw or SmackDown. And Adrian, I feel like this one better suits you this week. So we're going to go in reverse. Rant to me.
Enjoyed both shows amazingly, okay? They were really good, okay? Especially because Drew McIntyre got the title and Jake Fatu returned. It was all pretty much good in my book. But my rant is going to, like Dominic last week, the fans. Okay? I have a few things that I'm mad about from the fans. Like how they're saying that, like, the debut Raw is the best Raw of the year so far, is the best Raw compared to 2025. And it's like that. That's annoying because it kind of sucked. Well, no, it definitely sucked, not kind of. But my main complaint was that people were saying that the co-main event was better than the main event on SmackDown. They thought the open challenge this week was better than the main event on SmackDown.
No way.
I'm so serious. Like, I seen the video, like the post about it had like thousands of comments talking, like agreeing and talking about like stuff like that. They said the main event was like kind of sloppy. It was Drew McIntyre's return. I'm not Drew McIntyre. Jacob Fatu's return. There's no hope.
Listen, not only was the main event awesome, but the trailer leading into the main event, which showed the history of the Drew and Cody feud, that was straight up cinema, dog. That was
it was pure
freaking
cinema.
Epic.
Yes, it was. It showed the history that they've had with one another. That back when they won the tag team gold, the times they crossed paths in the Indies, like it showed everything between Drew McIntyre and Cody.
It was great, and the fact that the match was 40 minutes long. I mean, come on. There was nothing wrong with that match. Now, let's talk. We can go ahead and talk about the match real quick. Adrian mentioned it's something we didn't talk about, but we were going to key in on it a little later. The main event, Drew won, of course, we know that. Jacob Fatu made his return, and this is something that we get to kind of find out some things about, when SmackDown comes on next. Drew has never lied to us. He's never lied to the fans. And Drew was asked up front when Jacob Fatu got injured backstage if he had anything to do with it. And Drew said, no, I didn't have anything to do about it. Well, Jacob Fatu shows up. He gets in the cage at the end of the match, and he attacks Drew McIntyre first. I mean, just goes to town on him. And I'm thinking, oh, man, this really sucks because they're going to make Drew to be a liar, and that's really going to hurt his booking long term.
Yes, it is.
Small things have major consequences in WWE. Right now, Gunther's supposed to be the top heel, but every single time he comes out, the fans are still reminding him that he tapped out to Jey Uso, which everybody thought was a poor decision when it happened. And I think we will hear you tapped out for years, unfortunately. But if, in fact, Drew had something to do with Jacob getting injured, then that would hurt his credibility and his whole heel persona as we know it. And I'm thinking, dang, this sucks. And Cody's going to win. But then once he finishes beating up Drew, he goes over and beats the heck out of Cody. And now we're getting some things that we were asking for a long time. If Cody had a play in in Jacob Fatu getting injured, then we officially have a heel Cody.
You know what I think happened?
I have two things.
You know what I think? You know what I think happened though, for real? I think Cody attacked Jacob Fatu, and Drew McIntyre watched the whole thing happen but did nothing about it.
Well, Drew, if I remember right during that promo, and I'll have to go back and look, I'm not going to put it on the podcast because I have no idea how far back it is. But when they showed Jacob Fatu on the ground hurt, Drew was sitting on one of the boxes way back in the background. Y'all remember that?
I think there was, earlier that night, there was a face-to-face moment with Cody and Jacob backstage, and Jacob was sitting there talking to Cody about getting that title. And after he wins that match with Drew McIntyre that night, and in the background, Drew McIntyre is just like standing there, like you could see him. And then later all we see is Jacob Fatu later in the night. All we see is Jacob Fatu destroyed.
But okay, that may be accurate. But he was on the ground in the same spot where it showed Drew watching. It was the same part of the arena backstage.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I mean, obviously we're more than likely going to get Jacob. Jacob will probably open the show on the next SmackDown, and we will probably find out exactly what happened. And if it goes like we think it's going to go, if he says Cody was responsible, then we officially have a heel Cody.
Yeah.
And we'll probably which means Cody's not going to immediately challenge Drew for the championship because he's going to have to mess with Jacob, which means we're going to get a brand new contender for Drew. And it could be Damian.
Well, we do because this tomorrow there's four. They started a tournament for #1 contender already. There's 4 matches: Trick Williams versus Matt Cardona, Damian versus Solo, Ilya versus Sammy, and Randy versus The Miz. And the winner of all 4 of those matches will fight at Saturday night's main event in a fatal 4-way. And then the winner of that fatal 4-way will fight Drew McIntyre for the title at Royal Rumble.
I honestly think I can pick out who's winning that right now, and I think it's Damian. That's just my opinion, because Damian and Drew had a little bit of a conversation before all this went down too.
Yeah.
But
my 2 guesses are Damian and Sammy. That's my 2 guesses.
Okay. Well, there you have it. That's what happened. So that's part of Adrian's rant, though, is that people said the main event wasn't as good as the Open Challenge. And again, I know we talked good about the Open Challenge, but to be honest with you, like, Carmelo and Shinsuke didn't put as good of a match as many other matches have been in the challenge. So there's no way the 2 contend. I think that's a great take, Adrian. I'd rant about that. We're on rants. We're ranting. I'll rant next. I'll get mine out of the way. And God, I hate to even do this. I really hate it, but I'm gonna do it. Can we please help me say this so I don't get canceled? Can we please find Nia Jax a brawl that fits?
Dear God, he said that.
I don't know if it. I thought it was just her the first time she came out. I thought it was just her wearing some street clothes, and this is what happened. But they had to black screen it the first time she wore these clothes out. She's now wore these clothes 4 different times in a row, and she spends more time in the ring tucking them in than she does actually being Nia Jax.
Good Lord.
I'm sorry.
Man,
it's that bad.
She's bringing a whole new meaning to flop, right? She's bringing
it's going to get SmackDown canceled. And then it's like she knows it's going to happen. She doesn't care. This is the worst part. When it gets to the point where it's almost fatal, she just unzips her jacket like, I'm proud of this. And I'm like, ugh, please.
No,
fix it.
She's going to be in the Middle East pretty soon.
Yeah, she's going to have to cover up over there. But
good Lord.
In all honesty, the shows were so good. This rant really doesn't seem that potent, but it's bad. It's embarrassing. I'm sitting here like this when I'm watching the show because I'm like, ugh. And I feel like this is now her wardrobe. I feel like since she's teamed up with Lash, this is what they're going for. The street mugging looking stuff. And it's not good. It's not good. And again, this is the 4th consecutive week where she's had to spend more time fixing herself than she's been able to spend fighting in the ring. Matter of fact, she couldn't even really deliver her squat bomb, whatever it's called, on Alexa because she had to fix herself before she jumped. And I'm like, just change outfits at this point. It's not working.
Good Lord.
That's my rant, and I wanted to rant about it because I hate it.
I don't know if you said on the podcast or before. You said you had a list of rants.
I do, but I don't want to take anybody else's rant. I'll share the other ones, but when we're done.
That is the one you.
Jimmy, I need you to put your game face on and rant. Rant at it like it's been sinning.
All right. I've alluded to this and talked a little bit about it, but now that I actually have a segment where I can talk and let you know how I really feel,
You're gone.
You know it's going to be, don't you?
I might. Continue.
I want the big men to win the Royal Rumble. For once. Somebody big.
I knew it.
Everybody's talking about LA Knight's going to win. LA Knight's going to win. In real life, how is he going to put Eric Rowan, Tala Tonga, the War Raiders, Otis, etc., out of the ring? Unless he just hides like Edge used to do for about half the match and wait till some of them destroy one another. I'd like to see the big men come together and put all the little ones out. Just one time. But I think this year it's going to be a little better because I think Jacob Fatu is going to win it, and he's big enough that he's believable. I can see him throwing Tala Tonga out or Eric Rowan, but not LA Knight.
You know, I have to agree with you. Like if I was in prison and I was my first day on the block and I was looking at every single person that was in prison with me and they were WWE superstars, the person I would be the most scared of is Jacob Fatu.
Good Lord. Are you kidding?
I'd want to stay away from Jacob, especially if he walked up to me and went,
right. Good Lord.
Something wrong with that cat.
Yeah, dude. I'm not. Yeah.
Let me keep my cage shut.
Right.
Although he breaks into cages according to SmackDown. Okay. I mean, I think you're going to be able to continue your rant because I do think it's going to be LA Knight. But it would be cool for Jacob to win. Go ahead and send him straight to WrestleMania and then let The Rock show up and say, you're not a real Samoan.
Ah, Lord.
Oh. Who would you want to win out of the big guys? Who would be your top pick?
Oh my. Eric Rowan.
I thought so.
I'd love to see Eric Rowan or Ibar maybe. Tala Tonga would be great. I mean, Otis. I love the big men in WWE. I don't know. I almost wish they could have their own show sometime.
Well, they used to have their own championship. It used to be a heavyweight championship that was for the heavyweights.
And there was a welterweight. But we need some more titles in these shows. So
I think it's way past time to have a cruiserweight title. We got some good cruiserweights. On that note, though, I wanted to ask a question. Speaking of big guys, Maxine Dupree gave a promo about rematching. I thought she was going to be off TV for a while, but apparently she's going to rematch Becky Lynch for the Women's Intercontinental Championship next week. In that promo, she introduced herself as Maxine, and she introduced Otis and Tozawa as the Babes. And so I'm wondering, you guys tell me, and maybe you've seen this and I haven't, are they changing from the Alpha Academy to Maxine and the Babes? Is that happening?
Did you see the backstage promo between them?
Well, did you also see where? Yeah, I was about to say, did you see where Maxine looked at them and said, "Look, I'm taking my career as serious as I'm taking it now, and I'm training the way I'm training. It's time for you boys to show the world what I already know about you guys, and to start taking your career serious instead of just cheering me on all the time." And then Otis went, and then Otis point. Yep, yeah, and then Otis went and got the tag team title opportunity from Jay.
He did. He challenged Jey Uso and Jimmy to a tag team title, him and Tozawa, which I don't think that they'll win that. You know, honestly, I don't think they'll win that. But again, you had Maxine introduce themselves, and then Otis called themselves the Babes. And I'm thinking, okay, are we moving on from Alpha Academy? Is this about to be Maxine and the Babes? Like, is this going to be its own thing now? And I didn't know if y'all had seen anything about that or if that had been talked about, but I think we're about to be finally done with Alpha Academy. I think it's done. I think they're going to move on from it.
I mean, they might. I haven't seen anything about it, but they might.
Although, if they do, Maxine, they need to give Maxine an awesome entrance song. She needs to come out blazing.
Yeah,
some way, somehow. Okay, just a side point. We got one more rant. Dominic, please. You're the rant captain. Lay it on, buddy.
God. So hard. Man, this week was so good that I don't really know what to rant about from this week. But I mean, I can always get on here and rant about the fans like Adrian did. These guys, they're way too just simple-minded, no IQ people, bro. Like, I cannot stand it. I mean, like, they're just it's out of pocket at this point, bro. Like, you got people sitting here talking about Cody Rhodes wins the World Rumble this year. Roman Reigns fights Cody Rhodes this year. Like, I hate it. I hate it so much because, see, for me, the best show of 2026 between all three brands, NXT, SmackDown, and Raw, for me is hands down SmackDown. And why is it the best show so far this year out of all three? Because it's just everywhere. We're just throwing new people in and we're just putting it together week by week. But you know what? They're doing it in such an entertaining and interesting and fun way that I am more ready to sit down and watch SmackDown than I am to watch anything else. Because I want to see what the next step is for this person. I want to see what they're about to do with this guy. And so for me, my rant would have to just be I'm on Adrian's side. My rant will almost always be, unless there's something really bad happen that week, my rant will almost always be the fans just being simple-minded and nostalgia brainwashed idiots that I just can't stand.
Fair. And I speaking of the fans, I thought we had a really poor fan interaction considering they were in Germany. Normally Germany is deafening. I mean, normally they take over shows, and I didn't feel like they did that this week, so I don't know what was going on. They were loudest for Gunther. There was a couple people that would try to drown out the Gunther chants with AJ Styles chants, but the rest of the show, they didn't give very much, and that's very abnormal for an overseas crowd. But so I can buy into your rant. Okay. Well, we've ranted, we've bragged, and what I want to do now is I just want to ask for an opinion before we get ready to talk about a couple of things that are upcoming for the podcast. One of the things I asked the guys for before this episode, and I want to talk about this, is, in your opinion, I'm watching wrestling and I'm seeing things that make me go, ooh, and it led me to say this would be a fun conversation to have on the podcast. What do you guys think is the most devastating move in wrestling? And I want to know what move you think it is, and I want you to tell me why. I mean, it just makes your butt hurt, right? Like, you tense up. What? Let's talk about it. Jimmy, you talk about some moves almost every week that you're like, gets you all tense. What's the most devastating move in wrestling?
Well, I love Sister Abigail. I love Pop Rocks and the Mexican Destroyer. I love the Soul Snatcher. But if you're going to ask me which move that I would not want to have performed on me most of all out of every move in wrestling, it would be the coup de grace from Finn Balor.
Oh, yeah.
I knew that's what he was going to say. I knew that's exactly what he was going to say.
I can't even hardly watch that.
You're going to have to watch it next week.
Yeah, I am.
CM Punk's going to get coup de
grace.
He
can do a lot to CM Punk.
Jimmy said, I can't wait to watch CM Punk get grod.
So the coup de grace,
let's tell the fans what that is. It's Finn Balor's signature move, and what he does, he stands up, feet on the top turnbuckle, he jumps all the way from the top, and he lands with his feet flat on the superstar's body. Adrian's playing it out for you on screen. And Jimmy and I both are a little perplexed on how he does that without injuring people, because it's like if you were jumping off a cliff into the water straight-legged to try to brace for that impact. That's what he does to people's bodies from the top turnbuckle. And yes, it does look like at any minute he could crush someone's chest, ribs, hips, anything with the way he lands. And I don't know. I think the only move that has more impact from the turnbuckle is when Nia Jax sits on somebody. But there's a lot more cushion there.
If she put on a better bra, it wouldn't be so bad.
Jesus. Thank you.
We're canceled.
The coup de grace. Jimmy says the coup de grace is the most devastating move in wrestling. All right, Adrian, in your opinion, based on your expert vision, what's the most devastating move?
I would rather a freaking coup de grace over 23 miles an hour coming straight at you.
I knew it.
Bro.
Bro, Dragon Lee got yeeted to WrestleMania. He's in the future right now. It's wild.
He's winning his first singles titles right now. I died.
Yeah, Dragon Lee has been yeeted so far into the future that he's competing. Adrian said he's winning his first title right now, like in his timeline. That's what's happening. That is funny. That is funny. Now, not only was it devastating to Dragon Lee, but remember when I Show Speed got speared during the Royal Rumble and he almost didn't wake up? That was intense too. That was super intense.
You think
So
he'll be a celebrity this year?
I mean, let's talk about it. So you had the I Show Speed Spear, which is iconic. You had this one this week. Is there any other time that Braun has speared somebody and you've been like, oh, like you'll never forget it? Let's go ahead and get 3 of them.
Carlito,
Oh yeah.
and then I seen one in NXT where he was fighting. I think it was Ilya. Ilya came off the top rope and he just went straight.
Oh yeah, I remember that one too. That was on his highlight reel when he signed with the company with the major brand. That was a big one. And that Ilya's a dog for taking that because Ilya still fought. He fought really hard after that. So
No, sure, Gunther a few times really hard in NXT.
that's cool. So we got the coup de grace, we got the spear, but Dominic, what you got for the most devastating move? You got to unmute yourself.
I think for me, the most devastating move to watch every single time. It doesn't matter when this person does it, what match is happening, how bad the match is going. When this move is performed every single time, I'm just like, ow. It is hands down when Stephanie Vauquer does that damn dragon screw to the knee thing, where she picks up their knee and she like goes like that to it. It's just like, oh, every ligament in their knee just left. Like,
it's not just Stephanie Vauquer. The dragon screw I had a tie on my list, and dragon screw was one of them. AJ Styles pulled some dragon screws on Gunther, and I was like,
yeah,
no
yeah, those
freaking way.
Yeah, but Stephanie Vauquer is the one I see do it like every single match. Like it's one of her moves. Like she's done it to every female she's fought since she's been on the roster.
It looks like it hurts.
It looks disgusting. Like when she did to Io when she fought Io at WrestlePalooza, and she did it to her like 3 or 4 times in that one match. I don't know how Io walked out of there. I
don't know how it's safe. I don't know how
Dude,
to say
yeah, that move just like I just picture every ligament, ACL, MCL, whatever you want to call it. I don't give a crap. Just everything in your knee just gone. Like just absolutely obliterated.
Wow.
Every time I see that move, I'd almost rather a coup de grace be performed on me than the dragon screw because I don't know if my knees could do that.
Well, I don't know if it was Stephanie Vauquer performing it. I'd probably chance it.
We are getting Booker T joined us today, y'all.
Hey, man, that's some caliente right there. Hey, I guess I got a thing for Latinas because I think Zelina Vega is one of the hottest women on the roster as well. The only one that's hotter than the Latinos to me. I mean, I even think Raquel and Roxanne are gorgeous, but the only one that's hotter than the Latinos for me is Maxine Dupree. That's my goddess, and y'all know that. I love her. I love her so much. All right, I'm gonna give you mine, and this, I to this day, I don't know how more people are finishing their careers with this move still allowed in WWE, and this goes all the way back to the days of Jake the Snake Roberts, but the DDT.
Oh yeah.
Ow. I mean, and then I know how it's supposed to happen, but how do some of these superstars literally land completely pencil necked with their head on the mat and their feet straight up, and they are able to move their neck after that? How do they not instantly die when they get their neck straight pummeled into the wrestling ring? It's fast. It's like, bam.
Yeah,
you're on the ground.
Or when the nastiest DDT that I've seen in the whole company is Drew McIntyre's Future Shock, or Culture Shock, whatever it is.
The one I'm thinking of though is Rhea Ripley.
Oh yeah,
Rhea Ripley DDT. I think maybe it was Kyrie last week. I thought it was over for Kyrie. I thought she just died. Like, holy crap.
Yeah, dude.
I mean,
That's
the
been-
force
yeah.
on the neck is just ridiculous. I don't know how the DDT has made it this many years, but it's, to me, it hurts every time I see it. And we'd love to hear from you guys that watch our podcast. What's the most devastating move in history? What just makes you cringe every time you see it? I mean, that's part of it. Every time, it's so fun to me because, I'll be watching WWE with my wife, and she'll be like, "Isn't this fake?" And then every single time something happens on TV that's just like awesome, I'm like, "Yeah, you think they could fake that? Look at him, he's bleeding." So good stuff. Well, we got a couple of announcements tonight before we close out the show, and that is that this weekend, at some point, be watching the Facebook, we will be debuting the official Hard Cam website. And what that will do is it will give a full platform for the Hard Cam's opinions. We will have a Hard Cam champion, a men and women from each show, based on points that they accrue week over week in the programming. It'll also keep a tracker on the hot stars and cold stars based on who's been on TV and who hasn't been on TV and how many points they've accrued over the past few weeks. There'll be an about section where you can learn more about the host of the PodCam. And then very soon, too, as well, we will give official match ratings on the star ratings on the matches that were had on the shows, because with the new way that we're moving the podcast, we want to have more meaningful conversation without taking up so much time. We're going to shoot for keeping this podcast around an hour long each week. We're going to have less segments, but we're going to have more meaningful discussion. And so therefore, if you want to see more pinpointed on how we feel and why about things, we'll want you to direct you to the website where you can see who got points, why they got those points, and how the matches played out in our opinion. And we'll give it a traditional star rating match, 5 stars. And it'll actually, how 5 stars are, half star is 1. So it'll be a scale of 1 to 10 with a 5-star rating, and it will all be there. I think all of us, as we get ready to close this episode, we're super excited about what's going to happen in wrestling next week. I mean, some of the stuff we're looking forward to on Raw, we're going to get to see CM Punk versus Finn Balor. And all of us believe there's a chance. There is a chance that Finn Balor could shake this up going into WrestleMania. We're going to get to find out which show Obafemi actually signs with. And there's big implications for that signing on either one. I'm personally leaning towards SmackDown, but who knows? He could show up on Raw and just completely rock that roster up. And then last but not least, and we're going to close the show talking about this, we're going to get to see what really takes place as a result of what Braun Breaker did to Adam Pearce at the end of Raw before the main event. I think this could be the gateway to, we've already talked about a lot of it, but I think this could be a really big gateway to a brand new storyline that really affects everybody on Raw. And so those are some of the things we're looking forward to. We are done. We are signing off. As always, I am the host of the podcast. I am the host of the Hard Cam Podcast, Jax, joined always by my co-hosts, my brothers, Dominic, Adrian, the patriarch of our family, Jimmy. And this has been Season 2, Episode 2 of the Hard Cam Podcast. You guys have a tremendous rest of your evening.